Hey guys, what's up? I have loved haunted places for so long, and this is one of those stories that I discovered on like a ghost hunting show, and it literally stuck with me for years. If you are interested in hearing an entire story, obviously I don't have any real experience, this isn't a story time by me, but this is just a general me telling you about one of the most haunted places in America and the completely true stories and scary ass stories that have come out of this place. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about a place called Bobby Mackey's Music World. This is going to kind of kick off, even though it isn't October yet, close enough. This is going to kick off my October month of very scary and like spooky, fun, different videos. So I'm actually going to be uploading on my new upload schedule. Remember, Mondays and Fridays at 2:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm going to be uploading a kind of different, maybe scary style story time. If I change it up and I do something different, that's cool, but I'm going to try to make most of my videos scary and talking about fun stuff like this. If you love ghost stories and you love hearing about creepy shit, then definitely stay tuned to hear more about this place. Like I said, this information is all really from like actual sources, people that have been there, the real history from this place, and the things that you like almost can't even imagine have went down in the world. The world is a scary place. I also believe the world is a lot more of a cruel place than we tend to realize because we're just so used to living in our little bubbles. A little reminder of why I'm sharing this story specifically is because a couple years ago I was watching Ghost Adventures at my dad's house. It's probably my favorite ghost hunting show I've ever watched. And this was the first episode. This is season 1, episode 1. So if you are interested in going a little more in depth and watching an entire like hour episode of them doing research at this place at like 3 in the morning, go ahead and watch season 1, episode 1. So first, let's kind of talk about the history of this place so you can get a better idea. In 1850, Bobby Mackey's Music World was actually a slaughterhouse. This was like the main place that they were collecting beef for the people in this area, and they would kill the animals like brutally there. What they would do with all the remains of the animals is they would take the blood and guts and they would throw it down the well. Now the well is going to be a very important part of this story. This was already kind of a sacrificial spot because of all the nasty blood and everything that would go down this well. This well does not have a very positive connotation to it, let me tell you. After the slaughterhouse actually got shut down, and it is said that an actual satanic cult took over this building and this area and actually performed like ritualistic things inside of this building and inside the specific room with the well. It is said that they would behead people, they would definitely perform animal sacrifices, and they would definitely perform human sacrifices. Now if you go inside of this place, you can still go to it today, you can see this entire room, and there's actually a place on the wall where you can literally see. It actually almost looks like a person screaming where the concrete has been chipped, and that's where it said that the satanic cult members would have the people that they were murdering stand up right there and shoot them in the head, and everything would go against the wall. Very, very creepy, very, very scary. So the whole time the lot was empty from 1850 to 1920, that's when the satanic cult was said to have taken over this area. But in the 1920s, when it was demolished and turned into a brand new like casino type restaurant place called the Primrose, there was an Italian mob issue and there was disagreements, and one of the owners was actually charged with attempted murder outside of the casino, and eventually it shut down and was reopened to something called the Latin Quarter in the 1950s. This is one of my favorite parts about this story, and I think it's just very interesting. It's almost like a Romeo-Juliet vibe. So one of the nightclub's owners actually had a daughter, and her name was Johanna. And Johanna had a lover, and she was absolutely in love with this guy named Robert Randall. Robert Randall was actually a singer that performed at this nightclub. Johanna actually got pregnant with Randall's child, and when the nightclub owner, which is Johanna's dad, found out about this and found out about this little love affair going on and that she was about to run away with him and all this stuff, he actually killed the guy. So he killed Robert Randall. Now, I don't know about you, but I would be in the most distress of my life, especially, I mean, losing your loved one, but even worse, losing it because your dad decided to kill him and that he wasn't okay with it. I would be heartbroken. So Johanna was heartbroken beyond disbelief and actually poisoned her father in this nightclub and then went upstairs to a secret room near the basement and killed herself there. Johanna's dad killed her lover, and then she killed her dad and then killed herself. It's just a massive, tragic killing of so many people unnecessarily. That was just adding on to fuel the fire of all the evil that had built up in this building. I mean, it had killed so many animals, it had been a slaughterhouse, a satanic cult area, a place for mobsters, and now a bunch of murders and suicides and all this stuff. Scary, okay?
I'm telling you the truth. Yeah, this place is haunted.
And there's so much evil in this atmosphere and on these grounds. It's unreal.
And now finally to what it is today. In 1978, Bobby Mackey actually took this place over, and he is just a country singer. He just wanted to open a nice, fun nightclub for people to come hang out. He did kind of know the history of this place, and he was aware of it, but he decided to kind of like let it go. But there's definitely been consequences for this, and I'm pretty sure the spirits really haven't left this place. Little fact actually, Bobby Mackey actually wrote a song called Johanna. You can find it on YouTube and listen to it. It kind of has a very eerie vibe.
Someone came and took her lover's life. Johanna, Johanna, where are you now? Could it be you're still here somehow?
Maybe it just gives me weird vibes because you know what it's about. I mean, it's really talking about the incident of Johanna. Tell me what the chances are of this and how crazy this is. So remember what I said about Robert Randall, which was the lover of Johanna, and then I told you that Bobby Mackey took over this place. Well, now, what is Bobby a nickname for? Bobby's a nickname for Robert. When Bobby Mackey was born, he was originally supposed to have a completely different name, okay? Completely different name. And the day that he was about to be born and be named, something came over his mom, and she just had this complete like, wow, I really have to change the name of my son. And literally changed the name of her son to Robert Randall. So his name is Robert Randall Mackey. What are the chances of that? So there's a whole speculation and a whole thing that it is actually reincarnation, and it is Robert Randall coming back as Bobby Mackey to take over the place and just be there, live there again. What do you think about that? Do you even believe in reincarnation? How do you explain that? You have something come over you and then you name your son the name of a guy that was murdered in the place that he was eventually going to build his career at? I don't know. It's just super weird. Okay, so let's talk about some more creepy things that have made this place what it really is. We're going to go back to the satanic cult issue for a minute. The big story about this is that there was a guy named Scott Jackson and Alonzo Walling. Scott Jackson was actually the boyfriend of a small-town girl named Pearl Bryan. Pearl Bryan had gotten pregnant, and they decided to perform an abortion on her about 2 miles up from where Bobby Mackey's is located currently. They performed this abortion on her, and it went terribly wrong. They actually ended up killing her and chopping off her head. To cover their tracks with a failed abortion, they actually took her head that was not attached to her body anymore and threw it down the well. The well is also known as Hell's Gate, which is like the portal to hell. What's even weirder is they tried to cover their tracks some more, and they wanted to hide her body, so they literally just left her headless body in an empty field, and when authorities found it, they traced it right back to this location, which was Bobby Mackey's back in the day when it was run by a satanic cult. And so all that scary stuff was happening there, and I mean, I would not be surprised if they used her head as a sacrifice, because that's what they did with everything. But there is something else to this story, and the men didn't really get away with this at all. They were actually found out and they were hung in front of everyone, and they vowed out loud right before they died to haunt this area forever. So basically their last words were, "I'm not leaving, and I'm gonna haunt you forever." More reasons to believe this place is haunted. The well was a place used for lots of things, very satanic reasons, and it was actually floorboarded up for years and years and years. And actually one of the, owners, co-owners of Bobby Mackey's went down one day to the attic or the basement and went to go see what was up, and actually found a piece of a human skull. And so there wasn't a well showing or anything, that was not in picture. So they ripped the floorboards up, and the floorboards are actually still there. You can see them in the episode of Ghost Adventures, and that's when they find the well. And I thought that that was super scary, because it's like, who boarded it up? Why? Did they know the secrets? Did they not?
This well is a portal to hell.
You want to do harm to us? Do harm to Zach!
So this well is now still currently open, and I think that that is another reason why it's so haunted, because it's a portal. Right next to this well, you know how I keep saying that this is a portal to hell? Right next to this well is actually a staircase. Literally right next to it is a staircase that leads to nowhere. The staircase does not go anywhere. It's literally the top is the ceiling, and then the stairs come down. So who's coming down the stairs? Who's going up the stairs? Why is that a thing? Is that a symbol of heaven? Are there portals to 2 different worlds in this place? Mind you, this entire basement area where the well is and everything is literally made out of concrete. So it was like a back in the day soundproof room. Like, you couldn't hear screaming, you wouldn't be able to hear people being killed, you wouldn't really hear anything. It was just straight up like a concrete box. Let's just talk about some of people's haunting experiences here. You've gotten a lot of the history and a lot of the basics about this place, but I'm just going to give you some experiences from people. So Bobby Mackey's wife actually has not been back to the place in years. She's not stepping foot back in this place for a really long time, and if she does, she's going to be with someone, and she's not going alone. Because one day she was up, there's actually an apartment upstairs above the nightclub, and she was upstairs and she heard someone say really loud, "Get out," and literally pushed her down the stairs. And there's a very common theme with people's experiences here, and they swear by these, is that they hear very clear, loud voices. Like, they really see the guy. They see Alonzo. It's supposedly Alonzo Walling because he is the one that probably severed the head of Pearl Bryan and was the one that screamed, "I'm gonna haunt you guys forever." He had a handlebar mustache. Can you get any more evil than that? I'm just kidding. There's also a worker that testified he was inside of the bathroom and he was just washing his hands, and the trash can right next to him was just a metal trash can, and he saw it fly back and hit the wall. And when it did, he turned around freaking out, literally like paralyzed in fear, and he saw the man, Alonzo. He said he saw him and he was saying, "Die game, die game, die game," like as clear as possible. So a death game, die game. Is he trying to kill this guy? I don't know, but it was like an extremely loud, clear voice. Not to mention, right when this was happening, the room got really hot. If you're getting really hot flashes or cold flashes, that's definitely a sign of a spirit. Another story is a guy named Carl who actually still worked at this place and was interviewed by Ghost Adventures. Carl lived in the apartment upstairs as well once. I believe her name was Janet, I'm not sure. Bobby Mackey's wife had left. He said that he would always lock the door before going to bed. He would shut all the doors to make sure nothing or no one could get in, and he would sleep with a shotgun because he was deathly afraid and he knew about everything going on and he really felt it. He even had a sign on his door that said "Get out." It was literally like a sticker that said "Get out" outside of the door because he's trying to tell them something. At 6 in the morning every morning, and remember below him is the nightclub, he said he would awake to the sound of like an army marching. So is that a bunch of spirits marching through? Is that the portal, people coming in and out? What is that? Why would you hear marching downstairs? Carl, the guy that I'm telling you about, actually had an exorcism performed inside of this place. He had an exorcism done on him because he was becoming possessed. And once this happened, and once the exorcism was over and it was complete, the wall behind him literally caught on fire. Just literally caught on fire. And everyone freaked out. The firefighters were called, and when they came down and they were, detecting what was going on and trying to figure out how the fire started and everything, as they do, they couldn't find a reason why the fire started. They couldn't find anything. So very paranormal, very unexplained, very evil.
I had Carl take us upstairs to see his old apartment where much of the activity took place.
You can kind of sense that these spirits may be watching all of us right now.
Yes, I do. I know they are.
One of the current managers walked in one day. So she walks in and there's a jukebox in the corner and it's the only thing on. It's literally super quiet, no one's there, it's totally dark, and she's about to, open everything alone. And so the jukebox is playing like pretty lightly in the corner. And she goes and checks it out because she's like, why is this on? No one's been here. We're just now opening the place. No one is here right now. So it's playing and she checks. It's unplugged. I've told a story like that before. My sister's actually had an experience like that, but it was a more positive experience. It was more so a happy ghost that turned on the radio. This one was unplugged, and it was playing a song called The Anniversary Waltz. It just sounds like another really creepy, eerie, like country song set back in like the day. One of the main characters, one of the guys that's like the main ghost hunter guy, actually came up with 3 scratch marks, like giant scratch marks on his back. And if it's, as haunted as people say it is, I would not doubt that something like that could happen because his name was Zach. Zach was like provoking the spirits and everything, like just being really mean, trying to get them to come out, trying to get them to show themselves. He was being mean so that he could get, some information, some EVPs, which are electronic voice phenomenons, which is when you can hear what an entity is saying. And he's trying to get pictures and videos and all that stuff, so he's provoking them. And since they were angry, and they're obviously already angry because they're evil as fuck, he got 3 lines down his back, which is like the mark of the Trinity or whatever, and it's like mocking the Trinity. It's what 3 o'clock a.m. 3, anything really is like a mock of like God. Take that as you will. He actually went down to an exorcist and he told him, like, you're playing with fire, like, don't do this, be careful, do not provoke them, kind of a thing, or like, you're gonna get possessed, like, straight up. Those marks, and he was feeling woozy and like really dizzy and all that stuff. It's like, okay, if you're gonna do that, then bitch be ready, because you really are playing with fire. Another thing that happened is some people actually went back and went to go discover more, and they brought an exorcist to just cleanse the place, not like cleanse a specific person. And so they're cleansing the whole place, and one of the guys that was there said, you know, he was getting really angry and he was getting hot, and he was like, I just want to kill this guy, which was the bishop, the guy that was cleansing the place, who is a man of God, obviously. One of the guys just said he just wanted to kill him, and so obviously he was being taken over by an evil spirit that was getting angry that this place was trying to be cleansed. So that's really, really freaky. Also, more EVPs were heard during that time. Basically, at the end of the day, this entire place is just so hot for paranormal activity, and they actually do hold tours. If you live anywhere near Wilder, Kentucky, you should definitely go check this out, or not, just travel there for this. It is literally one of the most haunted places in America. This video is not doing it justice. If you can see the actual things that happen and read more up into it, you would understand. I mean, you know, people killing people back in the day, using their heads, throwing them down the well, using them for satanic worshipings. I mean, like, dead ass, like, there has been satanic drawings seen on the floor. You can see the place where they killed the people, and they would just throw their bodies and their heads and everything down the wells, and who knows what else they did to these people that they were killing, let alone, you know, they killed animals and all that stuff. It's said that spirits cannot cross a flowing body of water, and there is a giant flowing body of water right next to this place, so maybe this is keeping them in and keeping them in this area. It's not very good to have that much activity in one area. Shit's scary. It's a typical country looking place, all old style, you know, and oh my gosh, I honestly want to visit this place. I want to visit it really bad. So that is really all for my story today. I just wanted to give you guys a quick little background on one of my favorite haunted places to research in America. You guys should definitely go check out the tour if you can. I would love to at some point. Let me know if there's any other haunted places that you would like me to talk about. I would love to make more videos like this. It's actually very interesting. I'm very knowledgeable about it. Like, I really didn't have to look down on my phone because I'm genuinely interested in this topic. So let me know if you want me to make more of these. I love you guys so much. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, give this video a like, and leave a comment down below. Follow me on social media. The links are actually down below. And I will see your lovely, beautiful faces in my next video. Get excited for October. We're gonna have some fun, scary videos coming. I love topics like this. I love you so much. Once again, okay, I'll see you guys later. Bye!